Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Greetings to you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. It's another Thursday, and today we have a very, very wonderful topic to discuss. And I'm very excited for that because it is a topic that we don't talk about, but one that we are very insecure of. We don't want to discuss it with anyone, but we still cannot accept it. So I have decided to bring it up here because that is what Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour is all about. All right. I help you to discuss or to ask those difficult questions and bring answers to them. All right. And today I have a very wonderful personality with me in the person of Dr. Lilian, Dr. Ifunanya Lilian Igweze. She'll be joining us, and we're going to have a very wonderful time. So if you are excited for tonight, let me see your comments. Let me know that you have joined so that I can see that you're here. And I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to go and get your friends to join here. If you're a lady, we are discussing news, so you need to be here. And if you are a guy, you cannot say you are not interested in this conversation because you have women in your life, and it's important that you understand how their body works because sometimes they feel insecure. But if you, as a guy, maybe let's say you're a brother, you are a husband, or you are a friend, you can help these ladies to get to understand themselves better and help them deal with their insecurities because women, we are too insecure. We are too insecure. So tonight, we will be discussing feminine hygiene. All those your mushy intimate questions. We are here to talk about it tonight. So quickly, let me bring on Dr. Lilian. She's already backstage waiting for me. Who's excited? If you're excited and you want me to bring her in, please comment. I will not bring her if you don't comment. So you better give me your fire emoji. I said that 4 people are watching. So give me your fire emoji so that I can bring up Dr. Lilian Igweze. All right, let's do this. Hello, Godfrey Chimobi. I see that you're watching. Welcome to Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. I'm already excited for tonight. Very, very excited. So before we have Dr. Lilian, I'm just going to go ahead and read just a brief bio of hers. Okay, just to get you acquainted with the person that is going to be speaking with you today. All right. I can't see your fire emoji. I cannot. Godfrey, I'm happy to have you here. Who else is on? All right, so let me quickly give you a brief bio of Dr. Lilian Igweze. Ifunanya Lilian Igweze is a medical doctor with a great passion for reproductive health and rights education. She has led several rural and online-based advocacy aimed at bridging the gap in reproductive health knowledge among women. She uses her online platform at Reproductive Health Corner with Dr. Ifunanya Lilian to educate women on pre-pregnancy preparation, antenatal well-being, safer birth choices, and postpartum care. In her spare time, she teaches young girls about sexuality education while preparing their minds with knowledge to make informed reproductive health choices. She is the lead educationist at the Reproductive Health Corner that provides women with preconception care and online antenatal services. She is also the founder of Live Mother and Child Initiative, a youth-led organization providing access to free sexual and reproductive health education to girls and women in southeastern Nigeria. She believes that if women are given access to proper reproductive health information, they will lead and make healthier choice about their reproductive health. She is also the author of the most simplified mother and child-friendly book, The First Time Mom, a book which provides women with a day-to-day guide on how to take care of their newborn. So quickly, with a fire emoji and clapping ovation, help me welcome or join me to welcome Dr. Lilian to the stage. Dr. Lilian, you're very, very welcome.
Thank
Good
you very
evening,
much.
doctor.
Good evening.
I'm so happy to have you. Oh my God. This feels so good. Thank you very much for joining us, doctor. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
agreeing to do this. I'm sure it's going to be a very mind-blowing session with you because, as always, it is either value or value with you. Guys, let me tell you a story quickly. I told you I have a long history with Dr. Lilian. So for my birthday, I hosted an outreach. I held an outreach at a secondary school, and I reached out to Dr. Lilian to come talk to the girls about reproductive health, and she willingly, even though it was kind of inconveniencing for her, but she was willing to come, and she came. The kids were happy, and doctor, we are here because I was very, very satisfied. And if I'm going anywhere again, I will always need your service. Thank you for agreeing to do this with me. It's such an honor. It's such an honor.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, everyone, I cannot see your comments for some reason, or is it that you are not commenting? Are you not excited to be here? Because if you are not, there is problem, serious problem, because we are here to shatter some tables. Doctor, I decided to have this conversation because so many women, like I said before, so many women are very, very insecure. And many of young girls out there are very misinformed. You see girls practicing things that you wonder, where did you even learn this from? And even adults, you keep wondering exactly how did this even correlate with hygiene? I mean, where did you learn this from? How did this even originate? Some practices that you'd be wondering, how did this originate? Is it what we've been told? Or what? Or is it tradition or culture? So because of that, and I understand that some women are insecure and they cannot share their problems with others, but I had to go online and make some research and came up with a couple of questions that young girls ask and even elderly women, older women ask about their reproductive health, about feminine hygiene. And I knew that I didn't want to be the one to answer this question. I wanted a medical doctor who is experienced in female reproductive health to be the one to answer these questions. And no other person came to mind than the amazing Dr. Lilian. So once again, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so it's going to be more like a question and answer session. Okay, I will ask you some I'll maybe ask a question or make a statement. You tell us if it is true or if it is a myth. Then you give us why it's either a truth or a myth. All right. Who is excited? Amarachi Isaac, I see that you're excited. 10 people watching. Give me your fire emoji. You are not gingering me enough. You're not gingering me enough. Even our guests now. Give us the ginger. Let's get this started. Because your eyes are going to be exposed. You're going to be exposed and enlightened after tonight's session. Bless Nokoli. Good evening, Ms. Chinaza Favour and Dr. Lilian Igweze. Good evening to you. Deborah Oye says, glad to be here. We are glad you're here too. So quickly, let's get started, doctor. So the first question that I have here is, usually, when young girls want to talk about their private parts, they call it the vagina. They call it the vagina. Everything down there is vagina. So, doctor, please tell us, what is the difference? I mean, is everything down there vagina, or is there another name for different parts of the body? Please tell us, doctor.
Okay. Thank you for having me. I am really glad to be here. This is the kind of conversation I enjoy having. Like
I know, right?
it gives me adrenaline that can last for 1 month.
feel you.
So, okay, so actually, it's a common misconception, it's a common language among teenagers and young adults because it's not their fault, anyways. It's not their fault because these things were not properly taught in school. And the home is not a place before, not now, because I don't think, I know some homes, you don't mention it now, but not as it used to be. So the home is even a taboo to even talk about these things. And the school where the teachers who, in quotes, meant to discuss this as
Yeah.
professionals are also shying away from the topic. So they just
Yes.
mumble over it like, and then your biology is done. so, so I don't
True.
actually blame them. And if you gather girls now or young women and ask them to use a mirror to view their private parts,
What? Let's not even go there. Doctor, do you know what you're saying?
some people are going to faint on the spot.
Yes.
So how can somebody who doesn't know what her private parts look like describe
Looks
it?
like
You
some
see,
women don't
so
even know what their bodies look like.
exactly. They don't know the color, they don't know the normal, they don't even know how many layers is there, how many
Yeah.
openings are there. Okay, let me tell you a story before I answer the question. I was
Okay.
on Twitter a few days ago. So someone made a post. Someone who was supposed to be a medical doctor. Why I am saying supposed is that I don't know who the girl is. Though she had DR on her profile, but that doesn't
Okay.
make her a medical doctor.
Oh
it
yeah,
could
she has
be
DR, but that doesn't make her a medical doctor.
it
Yeah.
could be medical students superimposed in because we're on strike. People are on strike now. So
And everyone is
she
graduating.
Yes, so she made a post, and in the post, she was talking about functions of the vagina. And then she
Okay.
said that vagina has three functions, one for urination. I was like, what? You see why I say supposedly not? And then she mentioned other things, menstruation, sexual intercourse, and birth canal. So I corrected her to that. Please, vagina and urination in one sentence. She
Oh.
didn't even respond to me. Okay. That one passed to I joined a Facebook group recently because I was looking for a place to get to women, and the Facebook group has over 300,000 members, and
Okay.
it's just for women. So it was a good platform for me to share my ideas with them and dispel the myth that they are being fed there. I made two posts there which got massive what massive engagement. Then someone now posted this supposed doctor's post in that group with that vagina and urination again.
Oh my God.
You see the way the false narrative is spreading. Only God
Yeah.
knows how many groups, women groups that thing has gone to since then. Something
And
the
this is
girl could have
how false information
corrected.
keeps going
Yes,
because the DR is attached to the name. And so they think
yes,
because it's coming from a supposedly medical doctor, it
yes,
is true.
yes. So I quickly corrected that one there again, that vagina is not for urination. There are two openings on your perineum, actually three, but the obvious one is the anus. Then you have the vagina and the urethra opening. The urethra is the one for urination. It's tiny. People don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
In fact, as a medical student, if you are into clinicals and you want to learn hands-on and you are given a catheter, if nobody shows you where the urethra opening is, you will pass the catheter into the vagina of a woman. Yes, it happens a lot. It happens
Oh
a
wow.
lot. It's very common among new doctors, house officers. It's very common. It's very
Wow.
common. because the opening is not that pronounced. So, describing the perineum, the private part, what we call the private part, we call it the perineum.
Okay.
And in medicine, we call it the 1% area because it is actually 1% of the whole body.
Okay.
Yes.
That's funny.
So, yes, we actually use it to tease obstetricians when they want to brag that they are surgeons. So other people will tell them that, 1% area people.
Oh my God.
So, so, so the perineum or perineal area is made up of so many structures. Okay, so let's call the perineum a house.
Okay.
Inside the house, you have the living room, the dining, the Chinaza's room, Deborah's room, daddy and mommy's room, visitors' room, and there are doors leading to these rooms. Do you understand?
Yes.
So when you enter the main entrance of the house, so when you enter the perineum now, you are going to see the pubic region, which is the pubic, made up of the pubic hair, the pubic bones. So we call it mons pubis. And mons pubis means mountain of love.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
that mons pubis now is, you see the hairs, where the hairs are, pubic hairs are, and then the pubic bones and everything is there. Then when you go down, the hair is like this.
Yeah.
So here is where the hair started. And then as you're going down, it's narrowing down for women. It's
Yes.
triangular. So as you're going down, look at the tip of my finger, what I'm doing. So this tip of my finger now, this one, is where the hair ends and then goes down. So immediately you go down, you will feel something there that once you touch it, your body will do jiggy, 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 jiggy. So that is the clitoris.
Okay.
That is the clitoris. So now we are naming parts of the perineum.
Okay.
Okay, so apart from the pubic region, the mons pubis, from the clitoris down to where the vaginal opening ends before you hit the anus, is called the vulva area.
Vulva area. Okay.
Yeah, it's called the vulva area. So now you have the clitoris, then you go down, you see everybody that is on this live session. You are a woman. When you go home, clean your mirror with powder very well.
Sorry, doctor.
And
I think we have a guy here, or about two of them here. So,
yeah, but they cannot view their vagina now.
yes, yes. You said everybody on this live session. So, the
If you are
women
a
that are
woman,
watching, yes.
yeah, the women that are watching. If you are a vagina owner, that's the latest term. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
The Westerners are, so
Innovative.
yeah, so we have the vagina owners, we have pregnant people. That's the words that we are now using now. So
Okay.
it's no longer women that are pregnant. You now have the pregnant person.
Oh my God.
So if you are a vagina owner, if you go home, if you finish this live session, clean your mirror very, very well. Look at your vulva area. Put a mirror down there and look at it. So you know what is normal, so that when you see something that is not normal, you'll be able to identify it in time. Okay? Feel it,
Yes.
touch it, is your body. Just open it, see what is there. There are two patterns there as you go down. One is bigger, the other one is inside it, smaller. That's the labia majora and minora.
Okay.
They are like the gated parts of the vulva. Okay, so when you pat them, because they are usually like this, when you pat them, you will see the pink areas. The pink areas. And on that pink area, you will see the first opening on top, you just like pump there.
That dot.
Yes, that's the urethral opening. where your urine comes out from.
Okay. Doing
So when
some
you
learnings
go
here.
down again, you now see the obvious hole there, which is the vaginal opening, not the vagina, the vaginal opening.
Okay. Because that distinction needed to be made. The vaginal opening and the vagina, because everything down there is vagina. Even the opening and everything, vagina.
So these are the parts of the vulva.
Okay.
Okay, even when we are taught in school, when we are taught the perineum, they divided into vulva and vagina. They did not teach us the vulva area, or they know that there is definition. So there is vulva and there is vagina. There are cancer of the vulva and there are cancer of the vagina.
Okay.
So there are pathologies that are peculiar to the vulva, and there are ones that are peculiar to the. Sorry.
Doctor, be calming down. Be calm. We are not medical students here.
So the pathology I'm talking about is diseases. There are diseases that are peculiar to the vulva, and there are diseases that are peculiar to the vagina. Thank you for
Okay.
bringing me back from that journey.
Because you're already about to take us to an unknown destination. All right,
So
so let's
now that
quickly
we have
move on.
described the vulva, that hole, from that second hole I talked about, inside it is the vagina.
Okay. Okay.
So when you put your hand, or that hole that the
Whatever.
penis enters, whatever, is the vagina opening, where the menstrual blood comes out from, your vaginal discharge comes out from, the baby comes out from there. So that's the
Okay.
vagina.
Okay. Wow. Wow. We have to take that much time to explain the difference, because if we know
There
the
is the
difference, we
foundation.
can,
Yeah.
yes, it needed to be talked about. So quickly, I want to talk about hygiene. I want to ask about hygiene, doctor. There's so
Okay.
many information flying around. And I want to ask, please, whichever one of these are true, you tell us they are true and why. Whichever one of them is a myth, you tell us and why. So there is this general notion, and I think that is why we don't talk about it that much, and that is that the private part is dirty. It's a dirty area. Can you please I feel embarrassed talking about this. Can you please tell us, is it a truth or is it a myth, doctor?
It's a myth. There's no need running around the bush. It's a myth. In fact, there are two parts of the body, two organs in the body that are self-cleansing. Like they are the cleanest part of the outer body, and it's the ear and the vagina.
Okay.
So they clean themselves out. So it is not a dirty area at all, at all.
Okay. Because growing up, we have been made to believe that, no, any conversation that talks about the vagina, it's always seen as something dirty. Even women, they don't even like to think of their vagina because they think it is dirty. Generally, that it is a dirty area. And even men, it's just a general notion that it's dirty. And I'm glad to know that it's a
It's
myth.
not.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then another question I have here is that the vulva, because we've been able to differentiate between the vagina and the vulva now, that the vulva naturally smells bad. So you need to use special products like scented products, fragrances to clean it up. Please tell us about it. Is it true or is it a myth?
It's also a myth because the vagina has its own natural aura. Like the vagina is not vanilla. It's not an ice cream. It's not
Is
stew.
that a
It's not.
flower?
It's not rose flower. That's exactly what I want. It's not rose flower. So why on earth do you want it to smell like one?
Yeah.
It has its own smell. It has its own aura, and you shouldn't change it. Vagina maintains a stable pH, a very stable pH that if you allow it to function at that pH level, you will never talk about vaginal irritation, itching, smelly discharge, or anything. because it was armed with self-defense to defend itself against most infections. But when you start using these products like feminine products, scented soaps, scented wipes,
To
so
make it
always
smell
go there.
nice.
You alter the natural flora. The vagina has a natural flora, just like every other part of the body. The bacteria that is defense mechanism there, that is safeguarding it. And when you use all these products, it wipes them off. And then your vagina remains without a security post. Anybody enters. So it's not necessary. If you want to, maybe, I don't know if the question is on your list. If you want to keep the vagina clean, just wash it with warm water. I don't say hot water, it's not for more. Warm water. You're laughing. Warm water, like lukewarm water. Water is not hot or cold. And then mild soap. Personally, I told you the other day when we were at that secondary school, I use cousin baby soap. Some people use Dove. So stop using all these soap that are foaming as if you are washing clothes. Your vagina is not a cloth. So stop using all those ladder soaps that will foam
Lada,
and foam
lada,
and
lada, lada.
so just use a mild soap and warm water. And when you are washing your vulva, it's the vulva that you are washing. Remember that the vagina cleans itself out and leave it on the vulva. So when you are washing the vulva, let not your finger, let me speak in the like in jest, let not your finger enter it into that hole.
Oh no.
Don't insert
Okay.
your finger into your vaginal hole.
In the
You
name
are
of
going
cleaning.
to, yes, you are going to introduce organisms there. You are going to irritate the microflora there, and you are going to alter the pH, and you are doing a disservice to your body. Let me stop you.
Okay. Okay. Duly noted. Doctor, the next question that I have here, or the next statement that I have here is that shaving is equals to clean. If you are shaving or if you're completely shaving, you are clean, which means that those ones that don't shave or that don't like to shave are dirty. Is it true? Does having hair down there mean that you are dirty?
It's a myth. It's
Okay.
not true. There
So
are,
it's
in
actually
fact,
possible to have hair down there and still, and you're clean.
of course, as long as you are taking your bath and you are scrubbing the hair area, the way you
Okay.
wash your hair, that
Okay.
is hair, and is
Yeah.
likely going to get attracted to more sweat, more anything done, and if it's exposed to anything, just like your hair. So just make sure that when you are taking your bath, that you scrub the area very well, clean. That hair, you scrub it
Okay.
very well. And even if you want to shave, you can use your scissors to trim the area. You don't necessarily have to skim barber the area, skin spots, because it irritates some people and causes all those bumps that when they're walking on the road, they will do koro. They walk small, but the person doesn't have problem. But just that they have used scraping this thing to scrape the place like farmland. And then the thing is now opening. So it will be irritating them when they are walking, they are scratching, like
Yeah.
someone that is carrying something that is not there.
Okay. Okay. Thank God that is out of the way. Doctor, this is a very serious question. I think it stems from insecurity. This particular one that I
Okay.
want to ask. Some women some women wash their private parts with bleach. Some women use bleaching soap down there. And I'm asking, why? What do you have to say about that?
If I tell you that I'm not if I tell you that I'm not surprised,
It is the truth. It's true.
they
Women use
want
bleach down there.
I am tongue-tied. Please, if you are listening to us this night, please, if you are insecure about your vagina, Please send the vagina to me. I need it. Please. Bleach. You are killing your vagina. You are killing the. I told you about normal flora. You are killing
Yes.
it. Let me tell you. Do you know that those bleaches like Izal, those ones are even antiseptic. Izal antiseptics, Dettol. I hope they will not come and carry me and go kiri. Antiseptics, both the soaps and the liquid antiseptics, they have no business in the water you want to use to wash your vulva area. Everybody should hear that. Putting Izal or Dettol in your water is not cleanliness. So that antiseptic is meant to wipe off the normal flora. It will lick it like soup. And they will not be there again. And you know what it means? If breeze blow one infection, you will carry it. Ordinary E. coli will be going on its own. Just maybe one just drop there. It will multiply because nobody is safeguarding the place again.
It's unguarded.
So please, if the color of the vagina, you don't like it, please, you are wearing pants already. Just leave it, okay? You're not actually showing it to the world. And I'm sure your husband to be or your husband is not complaining about. If he complains, tell him to go and bleach his penis first. It's the same color. It's the same color. So stop feeling insecure about such a beautiful structure.
I think it stems from insecurity. Yes. And the more women get to accept themselves the way they are, I think all those.
If women understand how beautiful the vulva and is, God, have you seen it? The way God just patterned
have you
the
seen
whole
it?
thing. The way God just patterned the whole thing.
Carefully
put
crafted.
the holes, yeah, and then inside the vagina, the wall, he now put glands there that if they touch you there, water will just be coming out.
Okay,
for
doctor,
you
let's
to
not go
enjoy
there.
sex.
Doctor.
So please don't be insecure about such a beautiful thing.
Okay, doctor. Another one that I have here is douching. Douching. I don't know if you've heard about douching. This practice where people pour water or use a device to spray water into their vagina to clean the inside, maybe after a period, so that all the bad blood will be washed out, or maybe they noticed a bad smell and they decided that, okay, it is time for douching, and they get that device and try to flush it in the name of cleaning it. So doctor, what do you have to say about that? What is it bad, and if it is, what are the health implications to such practices?
If I say it's bad, someone here might think it's just ordinary bad that I'm talking about. It's hazardous. Bad is what you use when your eggs spoil, when something small happens. But when you talk about douching, you don't use the word bad for it. It's hazardous. It's a disaster. So if I say it's bad, people will actually go and say, is it not just ordinary bad?
I'm sure you're looking for a better adjective to describe
Yes.
it.
It shouldn't happen. Like even American Association of Obstetrics and Gynecology, American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, they are seriously against that. Business is in such a way that people convince you on something that you don't need and you need it automatically.
More like selling ice to an Eskimo.
So when people saw that women are being insecure about their body, they quickly saw an opportunity to make money from there. So they introduced feminine wash. for them.
Exactly.
They introduced douching, and then apart from the normal water and vinegar that people that don't have money use, they now package the douche and put it in the stores and tell you that this one is the American one, this one is the foreign one.
Oh
If you
my
use it,
God.
you feel so fresh.
Branded.
Yes, they saw business opportunity in our insecurity.
Oh my God. You can say
People
that
do
again.
douching for so many reasons. Some say it makes them feel fresh for after menstruation, when they feel they have bad smell from that area, when after giving birth. So many reasons. But these things have not been proven to improve what they are trying to
There is
treat.
never a good medical reason for douching.
Exactly. And it doesn't solve it. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, it has 1,001 adverse effects.
So, doctor, when someone
No,
notices a bad smell from the vagina and they douche, I think it is better because douching it, washing the vaginal secretion there might make it look as if, okay, it's no longer smelling that bad. But still, whatever caused that bad odor is still there.
it's still
So it
there.
is still better to go and see a doctor, right? To get it checked out instead of
If you tell
douching.
them that what caused that one is still there, is a problem on this one, is one problem. But now that you have douched, you
You
have
have
also
you have just
worsened the
altered.
condition. Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
So by the time you are even going to see a doctor, you are now going with double wahala.
oh my God.
You're going with double because there are some of the organisms there that your vaginal secretions or pH is trying to suppress, and now you now wash both the good ones and everything out. By the time they will be growing back, good people, when you throw them down, they take time to rise. For bad people, they always rise to fire back. So the bad organisms will rise before the good ones. And by the time the good ones are coming back, those other bad ones has outgrown them and they're going to suppress them. So you now have double problem from there. And it's not just that. Douching exposes you to dry vagina.
Oh, okay.
So those secretions won't be there again. And you have more chances of having pelvic inflammatory diseases. Because as you are
Because you've
treating it,
altered the pH level.
yes, apart from altering the pH level, when you are pushing it inside, remember that you are pushing just like someone that is cleaning the ear, you are pushing the wasp inside. So you are pushing it closer to the cervix. And those ones that have gone closer to the cervix, as mean that you have an infection, they are going to start causing inflammation of the cervix. Cervicitis there. And if you still waste time and you do not go to see a doctor, it ascends inside the womb and then start causing inflammation of the womb. And if you still leave it, it will spread to the tubes.
Wow.
You see, the problems, it has pathway. So it keeps spreading to the tube. And this person now, let me tell you the problem the person has. Person has STI, sorry. Person has, as when the person has STI and did this, you still have the organism. Now it has spread to the cervix, it has spread inside the
Oh
womb,
my
it has spread to
God.
the tubes. And if you did not treat it fast as possible, it will cause inflammation and scarring. When you have injury on your skin, it forms scars. Is that same injury, that scar that we see on our skin, is the same way our body forms scars inside the womb and the tube after infection that is not treated.
Doctor, do you know it's now that I'm getting to see why you said bad is an understatement. It is
That is an
disastrous.
understatement. Mm.
It is disastrous. My God. Guys,
So when
say
these
no to
women,
douching.
women like this, when they even manage to get pregnant, because if you douche like every week, if both of us have the same equal ground to achieve fertility, there is no other structural or hormonal problem between the two of us, and person A is douching every week and I am not douching, I will get pregnant faster. This person has 73% risk of not getting pregnant.
What?
Is as high as that.
Wow.
So when they manage to get pregnant, remember the scarring I talked about? The fertilization occurs in the tube, and it's from that tube it will pass through the ampulla down to the womb and get implanted. That scarring in the tube, if it is so obvious and it has narrowed the whole of the tube, that fertilized egg is going to get trapped there and cause what we call ectopic pregnancy.
Ectopic pregnancy.
From douching, ordinary
See,
douching.
this is just this is where you do it though, and this is just where it's taking you. Oh my God. I mean,
And
why would I
studies
even
are
endanger
suggesting
myself that much?
Studies are coming up that douching increases the risk of even cervical cancer.
Oh God. That's a lot.
Just stop douching. It has no health benefits. Just stop. It has no health benefits. If you feel that you don't like the smell of your vaginal secretion, you don't like the color, you are itching, or you don't feel uncomfortable with what you are seeing, go and see a doctor. They are going to examine it, take sample from it, culture it. If it grows bacteria, don't take antibiotics or abo. This Lagos. Don't take antibiotics or abo. Chinaza, if I tell you what I was saying in this Lagos, there was a period that I worked in one hospital. There was a period that we had outbreak of STI in men there with erectile discharge, and about 10 of them, there was none that grew any bacteria. None. After culture, no growth. Because they are taking antibiotics, they are taking abo, they are taking everything before coming to the hospital. So when you grow it, nothing will grow. So you just have to be doing some bomb. So I actually made a regimen then. My doctor used to call it Dr. Ifeanya's regimen, and it was working for them. That was how lucky they were. It was working for them. So stop douching. If you feel you just go to the hospital. Don't be shy about it. Your doctor has seen so many vulva in this life.
So many. So
one day, men that used to stand on the road and urinate. I was going on my own. Oh, you are the one that brought out your penis on the road. The man was telling me I should start looking at his penis. Me, I was like, this one that put the hospital, that we are putting catheter inside. I beg, go carry this thing and package it well. Don't just open it outside. So just understand that your vagina is not the first that your doctor is going to see, and it will not be the last. And let him see it. Let him collect the sample and treat you, so that you'll be fine. Please.
Doctor, I think Miss Oma just joined. Can you please tell her what douching is before we continue to the next question?
Okay, so the douching we are talking about is DOOCHING, not DUT. You are talking about the Dutch. Okay, so douching we are talking about is when women use certain products, usually scented products with good fragrance, chemicals that are scented, that is in liquid form. Some of them, they tell them to mix it with water. Some of them is already mixed. So they have what device, a form of a tube that they get from the store with that product. And they use it to flush, I'll call it flushing. They use that, a form of a syringe. So they switch that product and push it into their vagina to wash it out. Like putting water in your mouth and doing and then you spit it out. So that's what they are trying to achieve. And we are saying that it is of no medical benefit. Not even a single. There are things in medicine that they will tell you that the benefit outweighs the risk or the risk. For this one, there's not even a single benefit.
There's not even one.
There's no single benefit that they say, okay, you can gain this, but this one can happen. There's no single benefit. So just stop. You are wasting money and you are still endangering yourself.
All right, moving on. Doctor, let's talk about vaginal odor a little bit. When a woman notices that, let's say a woman who is self-aware and knows her body, knows how she normally smells, when she notices that there is a change in smell, there's usually this first line of assumption that it is a sexually transmitted infection that she has that's causing that. So is that always the case? Is that smell, it's a bad smell, always the case of an infection in the vagina or the vulva?
Well, I will not answer this question straight, so I don't mislead people that are not too exposed to this topic. Okay,
Okay.
so already I've said that the vagina doesn't smell like flavors and flowers. It has its own peculiar smell, which is neither offensive nor sweet. So if you notice that there is changes in your vaginal smell,
So let's say more like a fishy odor or a rotten
that's
smell.
yeah, that's what I want to. You need to qualify it because if you come to the hospital, we are going to ask you, what does it smell like? Does it smell like fishy? Does it smell like rotten egg? Does it smell like urine that was kept in the room and forgotten for days? Yes, it will be bringing out ammonia. So we are going to ask you.
Okay.
So when you have all these distinct smells, you obviously know that there is a problem somewhere. But it's not all of them that is caused by sexually transmitted infections
Okay.
or sexually transmitted diseases. Something like bacterial vaginosis is very common in young women, and it is
Okay.
not linked with sexual activities.
Okay.
It's more a product of all these douchings, use of scented soaps, antiseptics, and altering of the vaginal pH and flora is more of as a result of that. So
Okay.
it's not all the
It's
same, but
not
once,
always the case.
yes, once you see the ones that are wahala, you will see that they come with cascades of other symptoms. There will be there might be itching, and the color too. You will see that the color is not as innocent as it used to be. Maybe
We are
your
coming
own
to the
used to
color
be
later on.
okay. Okay, so let me just.
Yes. Okay, doctor. Another one here is that the choice of underwear doesn't matter. So I could wear nylon pants, I could wear cotton pants, I could wear lace, I could wear woolen pants. Does the choice of underwear matter, especially as it concerns the health of the vulva? And how does your choice of underwear affect the way you smell, kind of?
The choice of underwear matters a lot. We even
Okay.
teach this. I was taught this in junior secondary school by Copper Self before I even entered university.
Okay.
The choice of underwear matters a lot. Anywhere, whether in Nigeria, whether you're in the tropics like Nigeria, sub-Saharan Africa, that the weather is very hot, or you are in the Western world that the weather is a kind of temperate region, the choice of underwear matters a lot.
Okay.
Every doctor, especially reproductive health experts or gynecologists, they are going to advise you to stick with cotton pants.
Cotton pants. Okay. Why?
Yeah. Because the material, apart from the fake we have now, okay, the materials are original, they are calm to the body, they don't
Okay.
cause frictional
Friction.
rub. Yes, they don't cause frictional rub. They don't emit, they don't attract sweat, and they dry up the area instead of allowing the sweat and the secretions there to just get drop on the skin there. They dry it off and keep the place fresh and dry for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So it's better. And we that even in temperature, imagine wearing a nylon pant in this hot place. It's going to roast the area. So, so cotton pants is the best. In fact, I don't have a single nylon pant. The very moment I read about this and I heard about it for it's over 10 years. I've never worn any pants that is not cotton pants. And I noticed that anytime my mother-in-law or someone that traveled outside the country wants to send me underwear, yeah, is always cotton. I've never received a nylon pant from anybody from outside the country.
Okay, so in general, your choice of underwear matters. And
Yes, it
nylon
matters a
pants
lot.
tend to trap heat in the area and they don't
Yeah, and
allow ventilation, air to move in and out of the area. Okay. All right, doctor. Moving on. Is anyone enjoying this session? Let me quickly give a shout out to a couple of you. Bright Jennifer, Alata, who else? Favor of Young. Thank you for being here. Kosi Presh, Jane Ejim, you've been here. Thank you for being here. Favor Miss Oma, Joe, Bro Joe. I see your contribution here. Thank you very much. You are very, very valuable. He was talking about douching, and it was just exactly what you said that he restated. I don't think he was around when you were saying it, but he gave his contribution. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your contribution. So everyone here is having a good time. Ubon Etim says, "Good evening, Mama Chinaza and Dr. Ifunanya. Please, I'm permitted to be. Am I permitted to be? You're making me laugh. I like the talk. Please, am I still to listen or leave for the ladies? No, you have to be here. It is for everyone. It is for everyone because if you're not married now, you're going to be married tomorrow, and you have sisters. All right, you're going to have female friends. We have
he's
more
going to,
topics to discuss here. I mean,
if he has a
reason I'm
daughter
not
tomorrow, he has
a
responsibility of
daughter.
teaching that child
Yes,
sexuality education.
yes, yes, yes. So Angel Leonard says, well, she's enjoying it. Godfrey said, now. I like it. Well, Miss Oma, thank you very much. Kellyson Concepts. Thank you. Bright Jennifer says roast. Yes, he's going to roast it. All right, moving on to the next part of the questions, doctor. Tell me about vaginal itching. Does it always equal a yeast infection? And what could cause vaginal itching?
Okay, so vaginal itching is a non-specific symptom. Symptom
Okay.
is the signs you see when you're having any problem in your body. If you feel fever, is a sign of something. So, or a symptom of something. If you are the one bringing it to the hospital, if I'm the one talking about it as a doctor, it's sign. But if you are telling me about it, it's a symptom. So, itching is actually a symptom of something. Yeast
Okay.
infection causes itching. Bacterial vaginosis causes itching.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Trichomoniasis.
Sorry to interrupt you. It seems your video is kind of um, shaky. It's not clear. I
Am
mean,
I clear now?
the network is making
Oh,
it blurry. I think so. But you can go
I
ahead.
think
I
we are
think
fine now.
mm,
We are fine
not
now.
really. Yes, a little bit
Ah,
better. Let's
okay.
continue. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so Ishin, did I turn black?
No, you're good.
Okay, because my night light just turned on my phone automatically. Okay,
Okay.
so Ishin is a sign of something happening. It could be yeast infection, it could be bacterial vaginosis, it could be any STI. It could be vaginal irritation from products that people have used.
Okay.
So it's not like it's there. Even though when you come to the hospital, it's part of the questions we are going to ask you. Was it this? Was it this? Do you have this? Was it associated with itching? This one, were there rashes there? They are going to ask you. But we cannot make a diagnosis of any disease that has to do with the vagina and the vulva area with just itching as a symptom. We are going to
Okay.
tie it with other things, like the color of the discharge. If it's green, it's something. If it's yellow, it's something. If it is milkish, it's something. If it is cheesy, it's something. So we are going to tie them together before we make a decision.
Okay. Okay. So now you've talked about it. Let's talk about discharge, doctor. But before we go ahead, Bright Jennifer is asking, is it okay to sleep at night without pants?
Perfect.
Okay, I think that
Just
summarizes it.
yes.
Okay. So Bright, they can sleep away.
Just close your door if you are living in an insecure area.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about discharge. You already mentioned that. Some people don't know if it's okay to have a vaginal discharge. So some people think that something is wrong with them when they have a vaginal discharge. So is it wrong to have vaginal discharge? Is it dirty to have vaginal discharge?
It's not wrong to have vaginal discharge. In fact, you should have vaginal discharge.
You should.
You, sh- you should have vaginal discharge.
I'm
If you don't have
entitled
it,
to having it.
you are entitled to have it. Okay? You are entitled to have it. Vaginal discharge varies because are we going to stop at 1 hour exactly?
No.
Okay. Okay. So let me take my time. So
No.
so
Make
vaginal
it as
discharge.
brief as possible.
I'm enjoying it.
We are enjoying it. We have lots of more questions to answer. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so vaginal discharge is normal. Every woman has a discharge. Almost every day. Almost every day. Your vagina cleanses itself out. Okay. But like we said in just before we answer this question, that it depends. You have to know the normal, because if you don't know the normal, how will you even understand when
Know
it
when
is
something is
abnormal?
wrong.
So that's why you need to pay attention to your vaginal health. You need to understand the normal. What is your normal vaginal secretion? What does it look like? What is the color? What is the smell? What is the consistency? Consistency is when you touch it. If you like, you hide your face. I'm going to say it. You have to carry it. You have to touch it and know the consistency and feel it, because it's supposed to not to have any particles in it.
Okay.
You know, it's not supposed to be cheesy. Once your vaginal secretion starts having that cheesy, like you touch it and it's not, you need to, do it hard to feel it. It's looking cheesy, it's not smooth. And yeast is swimming inside it.
Okay.
But there are different vaginal discharge. Let me run through them. You have
Okay.
vaginal discharge almost every day of your menstrual cycle. Some days it is, say, milkish and it's harmless. It doesn't smell bad. Towards your period, okay, during your ovulation, it's going to increase in quantity. It's going to
Okay.
increase in quantity. So if you usually have small quantity of vaginal discharge, and all of a sudden within your cycle, it now increases in size, there is no problem. It could be your ovulation.
Okay.
There is no problem. Then, ovulation has different levels of discharge, from the watery to the spark to the sticky. Yeah,
To the
so we're not going to
slimy,
go to that one.
slippery.
Yes, to the time we may come back for that later. Then after that one, towards your period, you also have vaginal secretions going on. And if your periods, assuming your period started by 11 this night and it not just flow continuously, you will have brownish discharge, and it's okay.
And it's
And
okay.
before you could even shout, blood of Jesus, what's happening to me? Oh, your period will show up, and then it continues. Then towards the end of your period too, your period might last for 4 days, and then the fifth day there is still brownish stuff there. Those ones are normal. It's not infection. Okay, is normal. And then after then, the cycle continues. For women that have given birth before, they can have, when a woman gets pregnant, she can have pinkish spotting that signifies implantation. Only few women have actually seen that. Me, I've not even seen anything. Chinaza, did you see during your own time?
I didn't pay attention.
Okay, so me, I did not see anything. I was hoping for it. You know, I did not see anything. So,
Okay,
and then when
Favor
you
Miss
give
Sama is
during
asking.
pregnancy, okay, I'll answer the question. During pregnancy, your vaginal discharge is going to increase. That one is very normal. It's going to increase. And then after pregnancy, the lochia comes, they are pink, and they last for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and then they clears off. And then you resume back to your normal vaginal discharge that is usually milk in color.
Okay.
It's usually milk in color. And it has good consistency, smooth consistency, and it doesn't smell bad. It has the vaginal smell, but it doesn't have offensive smell. There are ones that once you put it, they be like, that one is offensive, but normal vaginal smell is not offensive. If it's offensive,
Then
men will
that's
not be
something.
going there.
Abi, oh, Abi. I agree. Okay, doctor, let's continue. You know, some women have large discharge. Like some women, naturally, their bodies produce large amounts of discharge. Is it okay? Is it normal for some
It's
women to have
actually,
large amounts of discharge?
well, once in a lifetime or once in your cycle, there's actually a particular period that every woman experiences increased volume of discharge. In a particular period, like I discussed during ovulation, it's normal to increase. But apart from this normal that everybody is experiencing, and then during pregnancy, that it's crazy, there are people that naturally they have large volume of discharge. But I won't stress much on this. I will just say one thing now. We'll move to the next question. I like people being on the safe side. If you know that you are having increased volume of vaginal discharge and it's even wetting your pants and dripping, like it can touch your clothes if you wear, maybe people that wear light clothes and you notice that it's touching it. To be on the safe side, go and see a gynecologist.
Okay.
Let them examine you. If possible, culture the thing and be sure that it is okay. If it's okay, they will reassure you and then they will advise you, because we don't want you to get stained when you are going out or feel uncomfortable. So they can advise you to use a pants liner to collect it, then tell you how to change it so you don't also cause more problem for yourself.
Okay. So we've already discussed that. Next question I have here is when to see a doctor. But we've already stressed that if, like you said, you have more volume of discharge than normal, or that you would consider normal, or if the color changes to green or the consistency, is no longer as smooth as it used to be. Just when it is out of the normal, you should go and see a
Yes, that's
doctor
the
and
word.
check it
That's the
out.
word. Once it's out of the normal. And one thing about health is that health will always, your body will always make you to feel something. Once you have that feeling of, am I sure? Please go and be sure.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
say it, I say it to pregnant women in my antenatal class. Immediately you start feeling something and you say, are you sure my baby is still moving like he used to move? Aya talk, don't hold it, talk, talk, talk. Or you used to vomit and the vomiting now, are you sure it has not was talk? It's better you go to the hospital and we reassure you that there is no problem. There is a medical treatment called reassurance. It's a medical treatment.
Wow, I've never heard
So,
of that.
yes, there's a medical treatment called reassurance. There's a kind of rash that your baby will be having. If you come to the hospital, there's rashes, so, but we know that it's going to wear off on its own. So we are going to reassure you. So reassurance is part of medical treatment. So
Okay.
if you come and we are reassuring you, it's better for you than when you come and tell you that it's late. It's not
So
good.
just be quick to go have any symptom checked out.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about menstrual health a little bit.
Okay.
Tampons and menstrual cups. By the way, how many people even know about tampons here? Not many people know. Let's talk of menstrual cups. So, can you talk about them a little bit? And the question that I have here now is that tampons and menstrual cups can get lost inside the vagina.
Stop
I've
looking
seen
at me. I don't want
people.
to laugh.
I've seen people. In fact, when I introduced tampon to my sister, she was like, "What me? Use this? No, it will get lost. What do you?" It took me a very long time to convince her that, please, doctor, help us. Can they get lost inside there?
Okay, so I think many people know about tampons and cups, so, but
Really?
something is hindering them from using it. And it stems from poor information, fear from misinformation. There's a lot of false information flying out there. Okay, so especially when it comes from, in quotes, medical personnel.
Professionals.
Nigeria is filled with a lot of auxiliary workers now. And once they stay in the hospital, but they feel like they have known everything. So they come on
Ah,
Facebook. I saw one page, it's run by an auxiliary. Even group, they have groups on Facebook now. Yes, now. And they share now, if you go there and counter them, they'll kick you out.
uh-uh.
Yes, now. So these people, they share information that are false and they make people to believe that it's the right thing. So when you
To
see
what
people not,
end?
because they are confident that it's the right thing. So who are you?
Wow. So can tampons really get lost inside there?
It cannot get lost. The vagina is not a bull forest. It's only inside the Igbo forest in African magic
Oh
that people
no!
get lost. The vagina is just there.
I was not expecting that.
The vagina is just there. It's just a blind tube. So it doesn't have branches, it doesn't have doors. Not like if you enter there, you can come out from another place. And the only opening at the end of the vagina is the cervix. And
Which is
in
mostly
a
closed.
non-pregnant, yes, in a non-pregnant lady that have never tampered with her cervix before, my little finger cannot even enter it. More of a tampon or a cup. So I think what these people need is information,
The
the right
right kind of
information.
information.
Yes, I always stress about the proper information, the right information. Sometimes when people insert tampons or cups, they don't see it again and they think it's lost. It's not lost. If you run your finger, they should remember that they need to wash their hands though before they are putting it and they are bringing it out. So when you wash your hands very well, you know how to 10 steps in. This one is not the washing that people used to go and do like this. So you have to learn 10 steps of hand washing and wash it
10.
very well. Yeah, there are 10 steps of hand washing.
Ordinary hand washing.
Don't worry. When we finish this session, just find it on YouTube and see it.
Oh my god. The comment section is making me to laugh. The vagina is not an able forest.
It's not. So when you feel that your tampon has lost, which is not, don't worry. If the vagina is that deep, the penis will get lost inside it. It's not that deep.
Doctor, we have a very serious question. Please answer it. Is it advisable to use yoni pills? A friend of mine says it cleanses the vagina. Please. Thank God for Osuji Grace that brought it up. I forgot to add it to the questions here.
Maybe I'm allowed to sing.
Yes, doctor.
Egungun, be careful, na express you dey go. Egungun, be careful, na express you dey go. I hope this answers the question. This person is entering express, and we know what
Highway.
happens in the express. Lagos Express, trailer will jam you.
Crush.
Just like I said with the feminine products, these people are cashing out on people's insecurity.
Insecurities.
So they are cashing out on it. Shebi, people don't want vaginal discharge. I come and carry this one and wash it out. And the person is in Dubai cruising with your money, and you are here suffering.
Chilling with the
Please
big
don't use it.
boys.
Oh, yeah, please don't use it. It's
Okay.
very dangerous.
Okay.
Okay,
Doctor, the
so we are
next
talking
question
about
here
the
is
tampon. I wanted to tell them
yes.
how to remove it if they feel that it's lost, in quotes. So when you have put the tampon and you feel that it's lost, let me tell you things that might have happened. You put it higher up than it's supposed to be, one, or especially the cup, maybe it has gone to one side of the vaginal wall. Instead of being like this, it has gone to one side of it. So maybe the
Okay.
side you are touching, you are you are not feeling it. So you need to actually run your finger
Round.
round and feel it, and you will bring it out. It's not going to, it's not going anywhere. It's there.
But if they are not able to, they can come to the hospital and have
And they
it
can go to the
removed.
hospital, we remove it. That one is not a big deal.
Okay. And this is to say also that you shouldn't be shy when you have a medical concern. I mean, these people are trained to take care of you. So there's no shame. There is no need to be insecure about all these things. Just when you feel like something is wrong or when you begin to panic or have any concern, just go to the hospital, have yourself checked out, and let a doctor take care of you. I mean, they are trained to do these things. Look at Dr.
And I want
Ifunanya.
to say something.
She
Forget
is
that I'm
trained to take
laughing
care of
here.
you.
Forget that I'm laughing on this live session. You will not see a doctor laughing about this in the clinic. It's business. There might be humor, but nobody's going to like remove your pants,
And start
open your
laughing.
goba, and somebody's laughing like nobody does
No, he's
that.
going to lose his license if he does that.
Yeah, nobody does that. So I am just actually making this to get to everyone. When you come to the hospital, it's business.
Yeah,
Nobody opens your body or even talk about it in a demeaning manner.
yeah.
Okay, so don't be shy.
I've read of a doctor who was jailed for making a demeaning statement about a woman's body.
Huh.
He was jailed, like
So
he lost his license and he went to jail for saying such.
yeah, so nobody
So don't
does that.
worry, your interest is protected. Just go see a doctor.
And if it's
You'll
a
be
male
fine.
doctor that you meet in the hospital and you are not comfortable, ask for a chaperone. Why I'm saying that you should ask for a chaperone is that we are in Nigeria. Outside the country, there is always a chaperone. But here in
Okay.
Nigeria, it's not a big deal, especially that we don't have enough hands. So, so doctor just, I beg, let's just do so everybody can attend to another patient.
Yeah.
Except there are medical students in the clinic or house officers when we used to have enough. Now we don't even have enough. So when we have enough, they just pick one female to go with them, or they just tell us to go and collect it if the person is
Okay.
insecure. So if you feel insecure around a male medical doctor, just tell him to get a chaperone, even if it's the cleaner of the hospital or the recorders or anybody around, or the anybody, or even another patient that is around. So there's no problem. Nobody is going to rape you in the hospital.
Okay.
Just make sure the person has a chaperone and you are fine. The chaperone
Okay.
should be of your own gender too.
Okay. So, doctor, infections are solely due to poor hygiene. Is it a truth or a myth?
It's a myth. We have actually talked about it.
Okay.
What does poor hygiene cause? Just cause, say that you are washing your pants and you don't spray them outside to wash, to dry, colory, or you don't iron them, or you are douching or using scented products on your body, or you don't take your bath. Maybe there's no water in the whole town where you live, And so the water that is available, you have to drink it. So there's no one to wash your body. And maybe you wear your pants for 1 week before you wash it because there's no water and there's no soap in your area.
Oh
Or
no.
use Izal to wash your vulva area. Or you put your hand inside looking for what you did not keep inside your vagina to bring it out. Those are what we call for vaginal practices. So those ones are going to alter the pH, like I said, and the normal flora, and they're going to give birth to increased growth of bac- um, organisms like yeast, bacterial vaginosis. Those ones are from bad practices. But you
Okay.
see, when we talk about gonorrhea, chlamydia, all those big STIs, they are sexually transmitted.
Okay.
So,
Doctor, when is the right time for a woman to change her menstrual product? Let's say for pads, for tampons, and for menstrual cups.
at the end of the fourth day, don't mind me, I'm joking. Don't
You
mind me,
didn't
oh,
hear that,
please.
guys.
Oh. I didn't say that, please. YouTube, help me and cut it off. I didn't say that. Okay, so menstrual products are very expensive in the market. Now we need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And I like being realistic. Okay? I like being realistic. Ideally, for people that have heavy flow, they are advised to change 4 hourly so they don't get stained. But if you have moderate to people like us that one part no they even full, so you just have to change it every 8 hourly. It
8
mustn't fill up.
hours.
That's just the thing. It shouldn't fill up.
Okay.
Those things are not good to be in contact with your body for so long.
For a long
It
time.
shouldn't fill up. But if you are really very poor and you find it difficult to buy your menstrual products, it is not ideal, but in reality, don't sleep with a pad that you used from morning to the next morning. As worse as the economy is, change at least 2 times in a day. No matter how
Okay.
bad the economy is, change 2 times in a day. And if you are finding it difficult to buy synthetic pads, look for reusable pads. They are very okay. Big people are using it. Oh, professionals are using it. But it's not even a Nigerian thing. Oh, even outside the country, people
Yeah.
are patronizing it because it's organic. You just have to understand that you will wash it and there are procedures for you to wash it.
It requires a
So
very
that,
high level of hygiene
yes,
to
but it's
not get
doable.
infected. It's
It's
doable,
doable.
yes.
Yeah. So you can get those ones so that you don't need to be buying it. Like maybe because now when you buy one always, for people that have heavy flow, they used to buy like 2 or 3 for one period, like that
What?
4, 5 days, 7 days. Yes, now there are people that menstruate for 7 days and it's heavy flow. They use like
Wow.
2 packs or 2.5.
Wow.
Or if they buy this angel big one, they can even finish it in one cycle. So if you don't want to be buying, you can patronize those ones. So you know that you have plenty of them. So you can change them often and then wash and sun dry. Before you buy it, they even drag your ear on how to use it.
Doctor, I like the next session. Let's move to sexual health. Sexual health. Who's ready for this next session? Who is ready? Give me
And
your fire emoji.
I
Give
am
me
a
your
born again.
fire
No.
emoji. Don't worry, we're not going to go into sex in details, but some questions that you have but you cannot ask. I'm here to ask on your behalf, okay, so that you have good and flourishing life. Okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Godfrey is asking who is a chaperone.
I thought I explained it. chaperon. So a chaperone is someone that is standing in while your doctor is examining you. If you're a
Of the
man
same
and you,
gender.
yes, if you're a man and you go to the hospital, even if you are big, because homosexuality is on the increase now, so you might not be even safe with your fellow man too. So ask the man to get the male doctor to get a chaperone. So he's going to go and get either another man or a female
Okay.
or a
More,
female.
more like someone to protect you, like someone to
Yeah,
stand
yes,
in to
yes. Someone
protect
to
your
protect your
space.
interest. Yes. For females, they get you another female to be there.
Okay.
But if it's a female doctor and you feel secure, you can get another male doctor to be there, because for female, we are actually scared of lesbianism, right? So if a male doctor can come in or another female can come in. But for males, you can use just the same thing.
Okay.
You just want to stand in.
Doctor, let's talk about virginity. Virginity is based on the presence of the hymen. So if you don't have a hymen, you are no longer a virgin. What can you say about that?
Well, how many people even have hymen? How many
Well,
people?
that's why you're here to tell us.
Virginity is not the presence of absence of a hymen. Virginity is the presence of the absence of sexual penetration.
Okay.
So some people are born with no hymen.
So that means
Some people,
they lost their virginity even before they were born.
they were born, yes. God took it.
Oh my God.
There some people are born with very thin hymen that ordinary sports that we do in primary school must have even broken the thing.
Yeah.
Or bicycle riding, all those high jump stuffs, bicycle riding, running, must have broken the thing. And imagine when someone with very thin hymen splits.
Hey,
It's gone now.
it's gone. Gone for good.
Or you're playing football. There's some people are born with really thick or moderate size hymen. So those ones, it withstands stress. So this is this category of people that actually really bleed on the day of their first penetration. But not all women are going to experience that kind of bleeding on the first night. All those things are just way of checkmating women's body.
Favor is asking what is hymen.
Hymen is the covering of the vagina. It's the door that leads you into the vagina.
In some women.
It's in some women. It has micro openings on it. For those that have it, it has micro openings on it that allows your menstrual blood to come out. I don't want someone to ask it because they're going to ask me if it's covering the vagina, how does the blood come out? It has micro openings there that allows blood to come out. In some girls, that opening are not there. So they menstruate and the blood gets trapped inside the hymen.
So
So
they
the blood
actually
doesn't
need
come out.
surgery.
Yeah, they just go and perforate it. Once they come and complain, there's complaint that once they tell you about the complaint, you already know that. Once they complain of cyclical pain, that yeah, you already know. So the gynecologist takes in and open it up, and the person will be fine.
Okay.
And imagine this kind of person now. Tomorrow, you tell the person that the person is not a virgin.
Is that a virgin? Ah! My doctor took my virginity. Oh.
Ah, and you paid
And,
for it too.
and
Ah,
that's why some
Obimboa.
women, you pay for your own virginity to be taken away. Kai. Kai. And I think that's why some virgins are afraid of pap smear, anything that could go into that area, because they'll be like, I'm no longer a virgin, or I won't be a virgin again. I think that's understanding that if you've not had sex, you are a virgin, whether or not you have a hymen
You
or
don't have sex, you don't have it.
seriously.
If the man you want to marry, if the man you want to marry cannot trust you enough to believe that you have not had sex, then you don't have business with such a person. It's a basic trust issue. And by the way, You're not actually keeping that virginity for him.
For the man. Yeah.
So let's just relax. Okay? Just make sure
And
that you are living your life according to your belief
your values.
and your values and your principle. And in reference to whatever supreme creation, if there is any that you believe in, not necessarily
You're keeping it for him.
because you'll be disappointed that on the wedding night you did not believe. Now you don't be thinking about maybe you have a spiritual husband that's taking it away from you. Whoa,
Oh.
voila.
Another one is tied to the first one, actually. If I use a tampon or a menstrual cup, I've lost my virginity. Now, this is for virgins. Do we have menstrual cups for virgins? Can virgins use tampons?
Yes, virgins can use tampons and cups. Tampons and cups. Everybody listening, oh, before you say that Mama Chinaza brought one doctor and both of them confused you. They're the one that took your virginity. Please, oh, before you use tampon or a cup, know that they have tendency of breaking or tearing the hymen. Hear it now. I'm talking it loud and clear. Tampons and cups have the tendency to tear your hymen, especially if you have a very thin hymen. They
That
can
doesn't
tear
make
it.
you non virgin.
And that doesn't make you non-virgin. You are still a virgin because you don't have any penetration and you are okay. Just that the tampons maybe has torn part of the hymen. Okay. Which if they did not tear it and you are a sporty person like me, if I don't
You
lose and
still
since.
tear.
So just keep yourself and believe in
Okay,
yourself.
doctor, this one is serious. I don't know if we have a married woman in our midst here. But doctor, this one, because for the men too, this is important. I need you to listen to this one.
Ha!
Eh,
Let
and
me
ladies
prepare. Oh.
also pay attention. Pay attention to this one because this one will break and scatter this table that we've been trying to manage all this while.
Ah.
Yes. Now the question is this: you are abnormal if you don't orgasm through penetrative sex.
Do you want us to
So
enter the street and do some
some
research?
men, some men actually tell their wives that if you don't orgasm through this penetrative sex, then you are abnormal, then something is wrong with you. Please, in the next 3 minutes, tell us about this or just shed more light in this.
We should just understand that not all women, not all women will experience orgasm in their lifetime, and they are normal. Orgasm is a product of one, good sexual intercourse, like when the G spot is hit, you know, when the G spot is hit and the
They'll now
woman
come and
really,
ask you what is the G spot.
the G spot is inside your vagina. There's this particular place that God has fashioned that there is maximum feeling of sexual satisfaction once that place is hit. It's not the clitoris so that is outside, inside. That's it. But the truth is that not everybody is going to, it's not every woman is going to express orgasm because we are not like men. Okay? Imagine if you're having sex with someone that doesn't even know what to do with his penis. The person is doing one ugly job and is telling you to orgasm. From where, Kwan?
So it's not a problem with the woman.
It's not a problem with the woman. It's
I
difficult
I
to satisfy women. It's difficult.
I I included this because some men don't even pay attention to a woman's anatomy, or, they're all about going in and out. Sorry if I am using any wrong word here, but they're all
Is there
about
anybody that is
going
below 18
in,
years old?
going in and out without paying attention to the clitoris is there solely for pleasure. That is the only
Yeah.
thing it's there for. And more like, I think
Some
the
people
G
don't
spot
even
is
touch it at all at all. They just,
exactly.
once they see it, they just cram. And even during penetrative sex, you can still be entering and be touching the clitoris to give the woman that gushing feeling of satisfaction. And
Because
it's
I did a
not sex
research.
that is
Sorry.
rushed that is the most satisfied. Find a way to just navigate the area and look at the facial expression or body movements of the woman that you are having sex with.
Or you will
It
be
will give
having sex
you,
with.
or you will be having sex with. It will give you an idea of if you are doing a good job or not.
And
Because if
women,
you are
stop
actually
faking
interested,
it.
if you are interested in your woman to orgasm, it should be communicative during sex. It should be communicative, talk. If he's not doing it well, talk. Men, ask questions. But just know that it's not every woman that will have
I
orgasm.
did a
And there's
research some time ago, and the research says that about 20% of that's only about 20% of women that orgasm through penetrative sex. So it means that a lot of women can only orgasm with clitoral stimulation. I know this is not a sex class, but I think it's important to highlight this so that many people here watching are not even sexually active. So that when they eventually get sexually active, they will
they
understand
know
that
what to do.
the men are different from the women, and it
Women,
is
yes.
selfish to just think of yourself, because women may not necessarily want to talk about it so that they don't look as if they are
As
perverts,
they are
you know.
promiscuous, yeah.
Yes, so it's important that you pay attention to your woman's body, know the pleasure spots that women normally have, explore them on your woman, and know which one works for you and works best for her. Okay.
That's the summary.
So another one is, doctor, that it is normal to experience pain during sex.
It's not normal. Okay, let me just say this. The first time a woman is going to have sex, there will be some discomfort like pain. Do we still have time? There are abnormalities with vagina. There are some problem with the vagina that can cause intense pain during sexual activity, even from day one, and it is not normal. You need to see your doctor for it.
Okay.
Then, for people that have normal vaginal ward, no problem. Their first sex is not going to be as pleasurable as the subsequent ones. So that first one, that can be, especially if they have tough hymen, it can be painful, but with time it smoothens out. But if you are sexually active and you don't used to have pain from beginning, maybe the pain from beginning has stopped, and all of a sudden you now notice that you are now having pain, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And the commonest among young people is pelvic inflammatory disease. In
Okay.
advanced age, in middle age, we can start looking at early cervical cancer and all those ones. But for young
So
people,
it's
it's
not
usually
normal to
it's
experience
not
pain during
normal.
sex.
It's not
I mean,
normal.
sex is supposed
Report,
to be enjoyable.
yes. You have another thing that makes people to feel pain during sexual intercourse
Vaginal
is
dryness.
yes, no stimulation, nothing. Person just jump in there with no stimulation, no lubrication, nothing. So even when people are dry and they're not producing enough vaginal secretion, there are moisturizers that are safe out there that they can use to moisturize that area and make it pleasurable for them.
Okay. Um, Another one is, I can't get pregnant when I am on my period. True or false? Or is it truth or
I
is it
run
a
an
myth?
antenatal class, so I run an antenatal class, so if you believe this thing, I'm waiting for you, my antenatal class.
So it's actually possible to get pregnant during your period.
Of course, very possible. People that have shorter cycle, like 21 days, and you are there, gallivanting like someone that has 28-day cycle or 30-day cycle.
Or
You're on a
your is your
long thing.
name.
And I'll just see your DM. Doctor, I want to join your online antenatal class. I'll be like, oh, welcome, my child, welcome. So please, know your cycle. I think the best thing is to have mastery of your cycle. When I did there was a course I did last month. It was a paid course on preconception education. I took them on that mastery of cycle. Even adults, like young people that are married, adults, they don't even know anything about cycle. So we were there, we were calculating it. We were calculating different 28 days, we calculated 30 days, calculated 35 days. You understand? So you need to master your own cycle. Once you master it and it's regular, you'll be able to calculate these things and know when it's likely to happen. That's why we say that ovulation is a word. But apart from the ovulation day, we have the window because science is wise. So once you know the window, and for people that have shorter cycle, the ovulation most times doesn't happen inside the period, during the period, go. It happens immediately after the period, maybe a day or 2 days or 3 days after. But when they now have sex inside that period, because sperm can even live up to
Last.
5 days, yes, it will now go and meet that egg that will now be coming like 2 days later and now fertilize it.
Chai.
So
Chai.
that's
Chai.
the
Chai.
thing.
Okay. The final question for tonight, Doctor, is I must have symptoms before I know if I have an infection or not. So, to paraphrase the question, does every infection have symptoms? Must I have symptoms before I know that I have infections?
So at least the men are going to benefit directly from this question now.
Okay.
Okay, so for both men and women, you mustn't have signs. You mustn't. But when it comes to infections, the men are more likely to have symptoms early than women.
Okay.
Assuming that a man and a woman are exposed to a bacteria, a causative organism, something that causes infection, the same time, like 10:44 p.m. now, it was introduced. The man is likely to come down with, as when they're introduced to gonorrhea, the man is likely to come down with erectile discharge, say in next month, you understand, or in a few weeks' time. But the woman can carry that gonorrhea for 6 months, 1 year, with no symptoms. We can
Wow.
incubate, yes, with no symptoms. So it's when it now becomes worse that it usually comes. Then
So,
sometimes,
what do you advise?
yeah, that's what I want to say now. Sometimes people get just more sign, like one vaginal discharge that comes and goes, and then once in a while it comes again, but it's not like normal like other ones. So you classify it as the normal, or you just itch koi and it stops. Maybe in a month or so you just itch again. So we don't pay attention to these small ones. Or you just feel one sharp pain on your lower abdomen. Sometimes it could be ovulation, sometimes it could be PID. So, but we don't really pay attention to those things. Okay. So it's difficult to tell a woman that they have infection if they're not having symptoms. But if you are sexually active and your partner is not your partner alone, and you are not the only partner to your partner, you are
Ah,
at risk of having sexually transmitted infection if you engage in unprotected sex. So the best thing to do is to always go for routine screening.
Routine screening.
Yes,
Routine
if you are
screening.
sexually active with more than one partner, or you are not sure if your partner is for you alone, you should go for routine screening.
Doctor, thank you very much. Just before we go, this question just came to me. It is very, very common right now, and it's scary. Please, can we talk about breast cancer just a little bit? Breast cancer in the next
Okay.
3 minutes. Many young women, not just older women, many young women are being
It's young
diagnosed
women now,
with
40 years,
breast
late
cancer.
30s.
Please help us. Help us.
Actually, till now, nobody is able to say this is what is causing cancers. Most cancers, some have obvious causes,
Causes.
but things like breast cancer, there is nothing specific that I can say. If you do this thing, you must have breast cancer. There's nothing. So it makes it highly impossible to prevent breast cancer. Unlike cervical cancer, that you can actually prevent it 100%, but it's impossible to prevent breast cancer. Number one, if your family has risk of cancers, or your grandmother, great grandmother, or your mother had breast cancer, you are at risk. It's a genetic stuff. It has gene. I don't want to call it so we don't faint again. It has gene. You understand? So such people from such families are supposed to be going for, apart from the self-examination they are supposed to be doing on themselves, if they are under 40-year-old, they should be having breast scan every 3 years. Some people say if the risk is so much, they can be doing it every year until they are 40. And when they are 40, they stop the scan and advance to mammogram. They advance to mammogram. Okay? But for normal people that nobody in your family has ever had cancer, doesn't mean that you're not going to have, you may not have it. Sorry for that word. It doesn't mean that you may not have it. Okay, so for such people, you need to learn self-breast examination. Is
That's where
very,
I was
very,
hoping you will come to. Thank
is
you.
very, very important. When it comes to cancers, you cannot prevent it, but early detection is very important. So you need to learn about self-breast examination. And there are techniques to do it. There are periods to do it.
Please don't mind the noise in the background.
Okay. So it could be like the techniques are that there are periods you can do it. You don't do it within your period. You just do it like after you have finished your period. You can do the self-breast examination. And then it's best that you can do it when you are having your bath. Okay. So you have to place your hands over your head. Then with the opposite hand, you now start touching. You have to feel it. But one thing is that some people, even if you feel your breast now, there is one particular lump there. Yes. And some people doesn't know if it is normal or not. So once you start feeling something, let me tell you, sometimes the men are the ones that usually notice those lumps from
Of
experience.
course.
From experience, is when they are
Wow.
now doing their pre-sexual touch and they notice, they be like, this thing not used
What's
to, because it's the
this?
way he goes there every time. So they now start, when do this one? Let's go and see a doctor. So if you cannot do self-examination by yourself, or you don't trust your skill, just go to the hospital. Once you enter, tell them you came for breast examination. Nobody's going to collect money from you. They can ask you to open card if you say, and then they do the breast examination for you and you go. Especially in government hospitals, you're not going to pay money for it. And if you are doing it and you notice anything, you don't know whether it's normal or not. Like I said, it's time to go to the hospital to make sure that it's normal.
If you're not
Okay,
sure, go
so
and be sure.
yes. So when it comes to cancers that are not preventable, early detection is the key. Let's get it early so you can attend to it early. Then there are other habits like smoking, alcohol, radiological, like X-rays, exposure to rays, like X-rays, frequent X-ray. Like people, maybe you have issue with your chest and they're always sending you for chest X-ray. Like people under 6 months that have done like 6 or more chest X-rays. But the
Wow.
chest X-ray is important for them to get treated for something else. But now you're exposing them to radiation, and it's going to cause another problem because those radiation kill cells, they damage cells, and some of these cells they may not get damaged, they can make them to grow exponentially, like they now doubles or triples or quadruples in their growth. And when they overgrow, they cause cancers.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That's why
Thank you, doctor.
when I started a job, they said we should go and do it. So I said, me, I know they do anything. No, that I just did X-ray when I had shoulder problem. Something I did like when I was in secondary school. After school, I was still claiming that I just did X-ray recently. I did not do anything. No.
So, doctor, before you go, there's a one question here. Ma, I was told the reason I keep experiencing menstrual pain is because I haven't had sex.
Now them,
Not them.
not them. They are looking for excuses to go and see what they did not keep there. Sweetheart, if your menstruation is very painful, go and see a doctor. If they check you and there is nothing wrong with you, there is no imperfect time and there is nothing wrong with you, they will advise you on the best pain relief to take a day to your menstruation so that it can help you with the pain management. Many women are living on pain relief because of menstrual cramps, menstrual pain. So don't mind those people. Even childbirth. Some people claim that childbirth improves this pain. Why it does in some people, it's not for everyone. There are people that even after they have given birth via the vagina, they still have this menstrual pain. It didn't go even with. So if the baby's head is not able to, the whole pregnancy process and the whole everything is not
The
able
baby's
to,
head that came out from inside, Seth.
as in was able to do the work, is
Is it
that
not the one
tiny
that will
thing that
go
will now
in?
come and babe, leave them because
Not them. Okay, so on this note, we're going to bring this question and
before we bring
answer
it to an
session.
end, let me say
Okay.
something. Please,
Okay.
oh, I'm feeling for the men, even though they are learning things that are beneficial to them or now or in the future. I feel that you should do something for them, I beg.
Yeah, someone already mentioned that. Godfrey Chimobi already mentioned that I should host a session that will
Yes,
benefit them,
yes.
especially. So I will definitely put that into consideration. Thank you, Dr. Lilian. Please, if you enjoyed this session, tell her thank you. I want her to see a visible and tangible proof that you enjoyed her session. For almost 2 hours, she has been here talking and sharing from her wealth of knowledge just to help us achieve all-round health in our lives. Thank you very much, Dr. Lilian. Thank you very much. Please comment and tell her, thank you, Dr. Lilian. Thank you very much. It was expository, it was educative, like I wrote. Thank you. It's always a pleasure having you on any of my platforms or just doing anything with you because what's not to love about you? What's not to love about Dr. Lilian? Please, do you have any product or anything that we can benefit from you? Anything that you can offer to us?
Well, right now, for people that are not pregnant and they're not married, but they intend to get married someday. So I have a preconception class or premarital class where they will learn everything they need to know before marriage, before having even sex in marriage, before getting pregnant for the first time, all those things. I have it in the course, it's a video course. So, and then I have an online antenatal class for people that are pregnant or planning to get pregnant this year or next year. I have an online antenatal
Oh,
class. So where we organize, we have women, we do thorough teaching. Why I'm stressing on this is that there are a lot of groups out there and they just put women together to discuss among themselves. But here we teach you. The doctors are the one teaching you. And then you have opportunity to ask questions and even have access to personal consultation, result reviews, and everything. We give most especially emotional support. It was when I started this online class, I found out that women even need more emotional support in pregnancy than any time in their lives.
it is true, doctor. It's very true.
So some days I find myself being there, crying with them, sending them hugs, chatting with them, listening to them, and then we gist, and then they feel okay, and they send me, thank you for this time. So that's what we basically do in the online antenatal class. And then I have a book, The First Time Mom. So
Oh,
the
guys, you
name,
should go get this book. You should go. No, no need for long talk. You should just go pre-order this book. It is fire, and it's going to be released soon. Just
yes,
very, very soon.
yeah. So,
Dr. Lilian, thank you very much. We enjoyed this session. Totally. I was the one anchoring the interview, but I learned a whole lot. So many new knowledge gained. Thank you very much. And as you can see in all the comments, we love you. We appreciate your time here with us. And we hope to see you again. Really, we hope to see you again. Thank you very much for
anytime.
spending time with us. And thank you for watching, every one of you. Thank you for being here. We have 12 people watching, even after almost 2 hours of being here live. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you very much for staying through to the end. I love you personally. And I hope you had a very wonderful session with me. Dr. Lilian, I have to say
Yeah.
thank you and say goodbye to you here.
All right. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that was a very wonderful session with Dr. Lilian Igweze. And to this end, I want to bring this conversation to a close. I hope you gained value because I did massively. I gained massive value to the male, to the men, and to the women, to the ladies and to the guys here. I'm sure you learned a lot. So I'll see you here next time, same channel, same time, next week, Thursday. And we're going to be talking about something that is very, very important. I mean, on this show, we always discuss and we only discuss important topics. So just get yourself prepared for next week's conversation because it's going to be mind blowing as usual. Thank you for being here. I remain your host, Chinaza Favour, and I'll see you next week. Bye and have a very wonderful night rest or good day, depending on what time you get to watch the replay if you are watching the replay. Bye, everyone. See you next time.